Hi guys, how are y'all doing? I wanted to read the Bible. I wanted to read upon John 13, and I'm gonna read verse 1 through 16. And it says, before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to his Father. He had loved his disciples during his ministry on earth, and now he loved them to the very end. It was time for supper, and the devil had already prompted Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. When Jesus came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't understand now what I am doing, but someday you will." "No," Peter protested. "You will never ever wash my feet." Jesus replied, "Unless I wash you, you won't belong to me." Simon Peter exclaimed, "Then wash my hands and head as well, Lord, not just my feet." Jesus replied, "A person who has bathed all over does not need to wash, except for the feet, to be entirely clean. And you disciples are clean, but not all of you." For Jesus knew who would betray him. That is what he meant when he said, "Not all of you are clean." After washing their feet, he put on his robe again and sat down and asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, and you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth. Slaves are not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them." Isn't that amazing that the Lord, he washed the disciples' feet? That is such a beautiful thing, just to set an example of to how to treat other people. Sometimes we need to understand that everybody should be treated the same. No one's bigger than the other. We should all treat everybody the same way. So this is such a beautiful example. I love this verse. I love it so much just because of this specific, could you imagine just being there and just seeing that Jesus washing the disciples' feet? That is so beautiful. So yes, I just wanted to let y'all know, we all need to, treat people as we would love to be treated. So it's really important that, we treat the people like, for example, like homeless people, or, our parents and things like that. Like we should be treating them, all equally. Not equally, but you know what I mean. We should all attend to everybody the same way. You want to be able to, do the right things and, go out there and help, the homeless and, be attentive and, do the things. And it's really important. I really like when he says, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, you are right, because that's what I am." So basically Jesus is telling the disciples, I am your teacher. I'm your teacher. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. So basically he's saying, what? I'm setting an example. I wash your feet. So now you need to go out there and wash everybody else's feet. Because we have to image Jesus. We have to be just like Jesus. We want to be just like Jesus. Jesus wants us to be just like him. He wants us to be like him. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth, slaves are not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the other who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them. So basically just saying, what I just summarized, what I basically just said in the beginning, it's basically saying, everybody should be treated equally, no matter what. Everybody should be treated equally. So yeah, I just wanted to read that chapter, John 13. This is the NLT version, verses 1 through 17. Bye. Y'all have a good day.